Hello, my dear friends. Today we have discussed about the topic procedure used in Visual Basic Programming. Generally, procedure is nothing but a set of instructions that can be executed at a once. The difference between procedure and the function is that procedure does not return any value to the program, whereas function returns a value to the program. But what is procedure and how many types of procedure that we can create in Visual Basic, that we will see in this part 1 of the video, procedure used in Visual Basic. So let's start. What is procedure? How you can define a procedure? So procedures are nothing but a building blocks that consist of a set of logically related statements, and execution of the statements perform an action. So what is the meaning of this statement? Whatever the statements which we have to write inside the block, all the statements are related with each other, and that related statement can be executed at one time, which performs a specific action, is nothing but a procedure. Either we can create one procedure, or we can create a multiple procedures in Visual Basic. But after executing this block of the statement, of logically related statement at a one time, that can be performed a specific action. Okay, for example, if you want to create a procedure to add the two numbers, okay, so then we can create a procedure to add or to perform the addition of the two number in Visual Basic. So how many types of the procedure that we can use in Visual Basic? So in Visual Basic, we can create three basic different types of the procedure. So first one is event, second is property, and the third one is general procedure. So these are the basic types of the procedure which we can use or which we can create in Visual Basic programming. Now let's start with the event. What is event procedure? Okay, so event procedure is mainly defined for the forms and the controls. So what the controls in the diagram in this screenshot, you can see uh, these are the controls which are placed on the left side of your project, okay, or left side of your form. So the event procedure is mainly created or mainly defined for the forms and the controls. Means if you design any program or if you design any application, whatever the forms which you have considered in Visual Basic, you can create an event procedure for that form, or the controls which you can use while designing any application or designing any project, or while designing any program in Visual Basic, you can also create the procedure for the specific controls, is nothing but the event procedure. So in short, the event procedure is created for the forms and the controls which you can take while designing or while creating any Visual Basic application. Then next is the event procedure can be created automatically or by a specific system action by the user. Means either you can create a event procedure by a specific system action, or for a specific system action, or by the action which is taken by the user, just like the concept of user defined and system defined. Okay, so the events which are automatically created, okay, either by the system action, means once the system can take a specific action, the event procedure is automatically created, or it is created by some user action. In our next part of procedure, we can see how to create the event procedure. Okay, so this is one example of creating a procedure for a specific event by the user. Okay, so I want to just create a procedure for the click event, and I have write that procedure or create the procedure for the command button. So here command button is one control and click is the event, and here I have create one event procedure for click event of the command button. Then second type of the procedure is the property. So as the name itself indicates, this procedure is mainly used to create the properties of the class. So event procedure is created for forms and the control, whereas property procedure is created for the properties mainly used for a class. User can set the values from any application which creates the instance of the class. Okay. In another word, we can call we can say the property procedure is the procedure which is mentioned inside the class module, and for that we can set the value of the property. These are the three types of types of the sub properties which we can create inside the property procedure. So basically the three types of the property procedure: first is get, which is used for retrieving the property values. Another one is let, this is used for assigning new values, whereas set, it is used for setting reference for object type property of the class. We will see the demonstration of all these types of the property procedure in our next part of the video. Then the third type of the property is the general property. Okay, so general procedure. So general procedures are of two types. First one is function, and the another one is sub procedure. So what is function? So function is nothing but a block of code or a block of the statement which you can write or which you can execute at a once, and you should begin the function with the function name as a function, and it is ended with the end function. As I already told you, function returns a value to a calling procedure, whereas procedure does not return any value to the program, but function returns a value. While creating a type of the procedure as function, if any user does not specify any data type, so for to return a value uh, to the procedure, okay, you must means it is compulsory for the user to specify a return type. Okay, so what is the return type? So if you don't have specify any data type or the return type of the variant which is assigned to a return value, then it take by default a return type. Okay, so this is the syntax of creating a function. The function type is either public, private, or static. Then function, and then mention the function name. After that, specify the argument list, and the specify a keyword as type, and then the statement which you want to execute. After that, write down the name is equal to expression, and the function is ended with the end function. This is the example of creating a function in Visual Basic. So to create a function in Visual Basic, let's click on add procedure from the tool menu available in Visual Basic on the screen. On this screenshot, you can see you just have to click on the tools, and once you click on the tools, the dialog box will be appears to you. Here in the name, write down the name of the function which you would like to create. Okay, then select the option like scope. What is the scope of your function which is already given? Means either you must have to mention or specify the scope as public, private, or the static. Okay, so you must select any one option, that is the scope of the function. Okay, and then click on the OK. So once you click on the OK button, the function is created. You can see the calculation function is created for you, and the name of the function, it is ended with the end function. Okay, so this is the example of function which you can create in Visual Basic. Then another type of the general type of the procedure is sub procedure. So sub procedure execute a specified set of the statements together, but it does not return a value. If you compare the sub procedure with the function should return a value to calling a procedure, but sub procedure does not return a value. It is similar with the function. The sub procedure is start with the sub keyword and it is ended with the end sub. You can see the syntax of the sub procedure and the function is same, but instead of using the function name in the sub procedure, while creating a sub procedure in Visual Basic, you should mention or specify the keyword as sub and it is ended with the end sub. And you can these are the two methods for passing the arguments to the procedure. One is by val and another is by reference to the procedure. The details about how to create a procedure and how to call a procedure, or how the method of passing the arguments to the procedure in Visual Basic, we will see in the second part of the video.